Welcome to Soulful Conversations, the podcast that highlights stories of individuals sharing various life experiences and challenges. We showcase strength and resilience found in everyday experiences. So get ready to be inspired, informed, and entertained as we dive into topics with wit, wisdom, and a whole lot of soul. This is your space to laugh, learn, and connect with two fabulous women making a difference. So grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and let's dive in together to this soulful conversation with Shar and Miko. Thank you for joining us on Soulful Conversation today. We have mother of Horace Lorenzo Anderson, Miss Donnita Sinclair. She's going to talk to us a little bit about the loss of her child and the process that she's gone through and the process that she's still continuing to go through as a community advocate against gun violence in Seattle. And thank you, Donita, for coming today. How are you?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
joining us today.
Hi, Donnita, Miko, the Moonlight, just
Do you?
welcoming you into our space.
Thank
Us,
you.
Soulful Conversation, Char the Star. So let's just get into, tell us a little bit about your son, sweetheart, and what happened.
Okay, so thank you guys for having me. So again, I'm Donnita
Absolutely.
Sinclair-Martin, and I am the mother of Horace Lorenzo Anderson. So in 2020, the summer of 2020 of June, my son was murdered at they wanted to say it was a autonomous zone, a protest, but I can't tell you what all was going on or what was behind it, because it does have different layers of tears that our community had been going through against police brutality. So when
Mm,
it initiated, when it first came together, I didn't go down there, but I understood the calling, right? And so, but I had to be mindful that our community, a lot of people that do the call of actions is still infected, right? And when I say infected, I'm talking about the disease of pain, fear, and anger. And we
good.
we have a urge to speak out, but it's just because of we're mirroring what somebody else is doing and really don't even know what we all doing, right? So in some 2020, my son was basically influenced because my son, people don't know, I had him at 4 months. I had him at 24 weeks. So my son was a preemie that came with a whole bunch of setbacks and barriers, ISP, special ed classes, and you guys will probably see him here in the back. And that, when, working with young men of color. Number one, we're already making with a young man, but then being a black young man in a special ed, that causes it builds a wall, right? It builds a
Of
wall
course.
where, yeah, that we want to be accepted, right? In which
Yes.
I was trying to build a relationship with him where he was so secure that his small setbacks or challenges didn't define who he was. But when we working with one of these different public schools and Rainier Beach and Washington's and Hazen and Renton, everybody's not the same, right? And so he being picked on and not really wanting to be in the
Oh,
special
wow.
ed
Right.
allowed him to not be himself, to where he is hanging with people, right, that really didn't care about him. Friend, like I told him,
Absolutely.
friends don't take friends to danger, but he wanted to be accepted, so he gets, I usually be at work because I worked at Pocan, People of Color Against AIDS Network, and I worked at Plymouth Housing. So I had two jobs. So at midnight to 8, I was downtown on 3rd, where the chaos was just beginning, when right after the COVID, the protest, so we went from
Oh, okay.
a epidemic for COVID
The
to where,
pandemic.
The George
Yeah.
yeah,
Floyd.
pandemic to now an epidemic, right? So it just went from
Right.
one tier to another tier. And I think people were still trying to channel that we weren't able to come outside. We couldn't be in places, so when you
You're
do
right.
get to come outside, it's just like having a kid in a cage or a dog locked up. Once they get out, it's free
Buck
for
wild.
all, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
And
yes.
so I think that because I can't tell you what that was created, I just knew that it wasn't something wasn't right about it, right? So, the first couple of days I can understand, but once it started carrying on a week and 2 weeks, and
Mhm.
time started, I knew something it was going to get dangerous, more dangerous, because we now we lost control, right? The police, we got the president chatting and telling. At this time, former President Trump was our former
Right.
president. At this time, he's chatting up here to our mayor, telling her to shut it down. Kids was getting, I guess, pepper sprayed, and just all kind of different challenges instead of community building with law, right? The law enforcement or community restoring the relationship that has been broken. It was for a free for all. I can't tell you what it was, right? So when President Trump had told Jenny Durkin to shut it down, right then and there, I wouldn't even be having this conversation, because guess what? My son would have had an opportunity to, number one, not just him, anybody. They wouldn't have been there because it would have been done. It would have been shut down. So
Right.
once she tweeted "Summer of Love" like it was a game, we as this is our community. This is where we live. We supposed to stood up and said, it's not a summer of love. Wasn't nothing healthy or funny about it, but time went on. My son must have ran into a young man that he must have had some type of encounter with previously, right? Because they ain't gonna tell mamas all the fights and everything that go on. I didn't know that him and the young man had a problem until the day he was deceased, right? Because I know that me as a mother, I'm a capture that moment. I'm gonna get this resolved head up. Not that I'm engaging or promoting my son to be a part of no violent, but how can, number one, I'm always open for having a conversations, because it's not about a pump, right? If there's no real reason to have beef or fight, be done with it. You know what I'm saying? But these kids
Absolutely.
is everybody trying to be so Superman and Superwoman, and at the end of the day, it's all our pain. We don't know how to have an outlet for it, right? So
That's the point right there. Very
yeah,
emotional. Very emotional
exactly.
generation. Yes.
Right, very emo. These is our kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And back then, as we was kids having kids, right? I had my first
Absolutely.
baby at 16. I didn't know nothing about having no baby, but I knew that I thought I wanted to be grown and fast, right, and not
Yeah.
live. My mom was an addict, so I'm gonna make sure, just this little chip on my shoulder, but not being honest about pain, right? Not being honest about somebody I done been molested, not being honest that I done been with a guy, he done socked me or slapped me, right? So many reasons why we leave home to come to community. And so when Lorenzo, him and the young man got into it, the sad part is everything was on camera. Why?
So, just not to interrupt you, but I just want people to know that don't know where this happened at. It was in Seattle. It's called Capitol Hill Occupy Protest, short name CHOP. And it was just a bad situation from the beginning
Most definitely.
to the end.
To the end, all the way, right? And then we got law enforcement saying that they feeling unsafe, right? And then we got community saying they unsafe. So, but everybody's unsafe. So how was we bridging that gap when, instead of building and restoring a relationship, the police left, right? It wasn't no sit down, no meeting. How do we bridge this gap? It was, I'm gonna prove to you that you guys need us, right? I guess then at this time they was defunding the police, right? And then when that occurred, nobody gave them the fine print on what defund the police mean. It didn't mean we are getting rid of police. It meant that we were going to use some of the budget to put in outlets of community-based organization, but they allowed, right? Everybody that signed the defund the police, the people that put it together, they allowed what the misunderstandings, they allowed the chaos or the confusion instead of really, channeling down and allowing our people to understand what it is that defunded the police supposed to mean. They allow people to just run with it. So I guess Seattle police got a whiff of it and either they used it for their benefit or they allowed, because nothing good came from it. So anyway, make a long story short, my son, the young man, ran up to him and he chased him around a car, and then they jumped him, right? They jumped him for over an hour. They beat him. He's 19.
Oh, wow.
Why does it take 6 young men, right? Young men with muscles to be a kid, right? And then, but all you see is the video. That's the part that's heartbreaking. Is why would you guys is okay to video this kind of pain? Why did that feed our children, right? Why was that food for them, right? Instead of it being disgusting or somebody saying we need to stop it. It was fuel. Okay. So once they beat him, all you heard was shot, boom, 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 shots. Okay. So then the next time I see is Good Samaritan truck, right, saying that he's gonna give my son an opportunity. Well, no, I messed up. So I seen a young man send a video to me. A friend of a friend sent a video saying that how he went interviewed the fire department and medical department, asking them, which they were on not even on a block away. When the breakdown is, they said that they only way that they were going in. So this was all script. This all was like a permit, right? They was talked about, safety rules and stuff that they would do to enter if emergency had occurred, right? So
the CHOP is they designated this area and basically fenced it off in front of the police station. The police hit cuts. They're like, this is out of control. We are leaving. They left. So it's all these people in this fenced area that have
16 blocks. 16 blocks.
That have
16 block radius.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
To just purge, to just do whatever. So on top of my son being, go ahead.
No, I was saying purge. You're using your words correctly. That is insane, because that's what it sounds like. That's picture you're painting, I'm just like, oh my God, this is crazy.
That's exactly what it was. And then instead of them, on top of my son being hurt, they said that they had over 30,000 calls to SPD that people got raped, people was getting beat. It was dangerous, right? It was dangerous there. So my little old son, he was, something was gonna happen. It just happened to be my son. You know what I'm saying? Because danger was there. So so once he got shot, the fire department, and we got it on video. I wish I would have been a little bit more prepared for this, because I could have screenshot y'all. So on video, the fire department said, we already been told not to enter. So that means my son, somebody already told you don't enter there after somebody's coming to ask you to help this young man. We told not to enter. You told not to enter. Well, if you told not to enter, then why are you here? What are you here for if it's not to enter, right? If it's not to help save life.
Right.
So after they was told not to enter, Good Samaritans took my son up to Harborview. So not experts that are trained, right? Anything they could have happened, right? But they didn't do anything to prevent him to still be alive. They made sure, you know what I'm saying? So that's the part that is the more emotional part, is why did my baby get denied medical attention? You know what I'm saying? Right. Why did these people, would you want me to do it? If I was in your position, would you want me to say, I'm not going to give your child any type of treatment, medical, anything? That's just, I don't know. So
It just
once I
sounds
got to
like a really dark situation, just the whole
Mhm.
atmosphere. It just seems like there was just no love, no hope, nothing good could have came out of it anyway, with law enforcement turning their back, with the paramedics turning their back, with
Right.
just the energy of the young people feeling the despair with George Floyd, with the pandemic. It was just a
It was a
horrible
lot.
situation. It was a lot, and my heart definitely goes out to you.
I
Being a
appreciate that.
mother of three sons as well, just a mother, period, having to go through this and channel your way through this emotional process. What other support systems are you working with, or have you encountered to help you get through this?
To be honest, I had to grow from 1,000 no's,
Mm,
right? I had to get 1,000 no's to get one yes, you
Mm.
know? So the support here is diluted, right? Because it's like a never ending story here. It seemed like, the people that I'm supposed to go to get the support is the people that I need to complain on. That
Mm.
is
gotcha.
the dangerous people. You see what I'm saying? So this little fish tank that we in,
Mhm.
right? We have people that's in positions
Mhm.
and either they knew
Hierarchy.
about it,
The gatekeepers. The
Yeah, there's
gatekeepers.
yeah,
a
either
hierarchy.
they
Mhm.
Yeah.
knew about it, or because it's still confusing. Every day that I wake up, I'm still like, okay, I'm still trying to understand it. Just like today, I got a call from a radio show. You guys see calling me, but nobody's holding these people accountable. I'm done with my story, right?
Mm.
Go
Right.
deep dive, right? And go and get behind the people that put, why don't nobody know all players that put this together? Why does not know nobody? But
Yeah.
they made sure that they had budgets. They made sure that money went everywhere. How and why?
And this
Why?
is to the okay, so you're telling me that this organized supposed protest that they had set up, this 16-mile or 16 block radius, that it was funded by someone and nobody knows an answer? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying too?
they
Wow.
said Black Lives Matter, right?
Mm.
Which they could have been. But when we get to talking about that and we're people of color, why do we have to put on a protest to matter when we matter? Why will
Mm.
we allow our culture and our lives to be capitalized on whatever that was down there? Because nothing about if it was black, it happened. My son was murdered June 20th. June
Mhm.
19th is the last day of our Juneteenth.
Right.
Why would we ever be down there doing? Why wasn't it leaders, right? And then everybody now that my son got murdered is silent. So you ain't gonna know who's who and what's what because they know that people. There's some people that can be still get in some trouble, right, for
Of
this. So
course. Of
why
course.
we didn't see nothing down there? Why was all them leaders, every one that I've heard, all these big names. Oh, I was down there. Well, when you tell me you was down there, what were you there for? To add to the layer of chaos? Because
Right.
I didn't hear one person say that there was a civilized leader or trying to support young black men, giving them the education on what Juneteenth was, giving them an education on what our culture. Just it was nothing about saving lives. It was all about I can't tell you. I can't tell you what it was all about because
Right.
at the end of the
Yeah.
day,
It
you know,
sounds like it was about discord and keeping the emotions high,
Hi.
keeping the drama going, keeping the energy dark and just demonic
And
almost. You know what
people
I'm
on
saying? It was
edge.
just yeah,
yeah,
because when you have that kind of dynamic and nothing positive is coming out of it, you best believe on the other side it's going to be all negative. And the sad thing is a young man lost his life because of this, because of this community that failed. They
Mm.
were out there for George Floyd and the pandemic and these other things, but
Mhm.
someone else is losing their life in the process. So we got to do better, people. We as a community, as just mothers, as just advocates in this world, we have to do better. We can't keep failing these young people and ourselves. We
right.
got to
But how do
speak
we
up.
do that, right? When you say as mothers, right?
Mhm.
And so when I see mothers and leaders in the same room, but nobody gets along, it's a
Oh,
problem.
it's
That's
a
a
That's a
problem.
big
problem,
problem.
right?
That's a huge problem.
That's the ingredients for a whole infected. If we trying to bake a cake, the cake is poison. If we trying to, I mean, it's infected, right? And like the other day, I went to a thing because I haven't been invited, right? Everybody used my son's name and capitalized and was able to get prevention for gun violence and intervention for gun violence, but they never ever speak. We speak on George Floyd, but we don't speak on what had Horace Lorenzo or Deontay or Pickett or everybody else that happened here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like we so worried about what's happening in somebody else's house and yard other than what's happening now. And that's why we're losing. That's why we're falling through the cracks, right? So when it comes to support, everybody's a gatekeeper.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Do you think that each state should govern instead of like, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that do you think that each state should govern their own dilemmas? So like, you know how the United States, oh, let's send this money over to another country. Let's, you know, do you think that Washington, this is Washington's issue, they need to deal with it. This is Texas' issue, they need to deal. Like, do you think that each state should govern their own issues?
Well, so when I wrote my writ assertory to United States Supreme, that's what they wrote back, right? They want to be able to govern that. And the thing is this, if we can't handle it, no. See, we can't have gatekeepers, and that's the reason why there's levels to moving forward in Supreme. That's why we go there, because we have not been able to govern her, right? And been able to handle the situations that we friends of a friend, right? People, if you know, I owe the lawyer and the judge owe each other one. So I'm gonna let this case go through. Why I'm gonna hold you to the Bowen's case. Bowen's case is important too, but what happened up at CHOP should have been most definitely important too, but it wasn't.
Absolutely, somebody lost their life. Your son.
You see, and then not just my son. What about the two other kids that lost their life right after the next day? And then that's when they shut it down, right? So it wasn't. It's like they did some contradicting words. They said conflicted. It was like, oh, we were scared to go in, but as soon as that other kid got killed, they shut it down in a matter of minutes, and they wasn't planned, right? But then you got our chief, right, that was a Black African American at the time, and I'm not trying to just bad talk. When your community helped you get in this position, because them white folks was not, they didn't welcome her with open arms. You remember that. We had to, you know, we had to vote. We had to put up a fuss, right, about why people look like us need to be in these positions. But then when you get in the position, you don't stand up for us. She never reached out once, right? You're a woman of color. And I'm tired of saying that, but you're a mother, you're a woman. Yeah. Why would you not reach out to me? And then you step down to save your
what, her reputation? What?
Not the reputation, because that's destroyed, right? God's children, we're gonna see through that. So her pension, she stepped down to save her benefits, right? She stepped down to save her benefits. And then I didn't make the call. Okay, why you ain't saying who made the call? Why are you not holding somebody accountable? Why are you gonna go to the grave with this secret? But you want me to respect you, right? Then we got the mothers of accountability, right? Everybody's friends. After I got through watching, I'm my own son's investigator, so I'm watching everything, right? Just like the young man that murdered him, I watched him for so long, right? His family, I couldn't find him. I said, I know how I'm gonna get him. That one's gonna show me it, because money. All you gotta do is highlight a little bit.
Follow the trail.
You hear me?
Follow the money. Follow the money. And so that Mothers of Advocacy, is that some type of support group that you could link up with, or is it toxic and not okay as well?
But let's bring up really quick. Ms. Martin here has her own nonprofit foundation. Yes.
Yes, we got us moms.
Thank you. And there's ways to support. We'll put the links in the comments on the video, how you can reach out and support her foundation. We got us moms. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share to our YouTube channel. Find us on Patreon, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook. And then I just wanted to move right into the kids, your living children. How have they navigated your emotions and their emotions through the loss of your son?
Truthfully, it's been a roller coaster. I'm dealing with depression.
Mm-hmm.
My baby went from straight A's and B's to barely walking.
Mm.
You know, they don't understand it, right? I
Yeah.
could tell that they're in fear.
Yeah.
But then they gotta keep this image, so they can save their face around a community that don't really like them and love them. I mean, I'm honestly afraid that I don't want what happened to my son happen to them because his friends took him there, people that he thought loved him.
Right.
So my kids is dealing with, just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I ended up having us all in one home, so I can
Mm-hmm.
know where my babies is at, right?
Yeah.
Because who am I supposed to trust in the state of Washington right
Right.
now?
Right. So you just basically, from this incident, it's just created anxiety, a
Yeah.
big, huge anxiety for you and your family.
Well, it actually it did a lot of things. It
Mm-hmm.
as well as it destroyed, it
Mm-hmm.
rebuilt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to
Yeah.
say that it didn't have some confidence and some self awareness and some self esteem that came with this, right? Being in that dark place, but it most definitely tore. I mean, to be honest, everything had to get for me. They
Mm-hmm.
still working on where they're trying to go, right? And I'm trying to be the positivist, the most positive role model for them. But my kids think that I'm trying to help community heal and trust community. And the only reason I do help and work with our community is so it don't happen again, right? So everybody won't be in a whole bunch of pain, fear, and anger and having dealt with it where it's easy to destroy you, right? So my kids, there was an opportunity where I was trying to get them some therapy. They didn't trust it, so it's just when they're
When they're
ready,
ready.
the opportunity will be there, for them. But who do you when it comes to therapy? Who do you trust out of Washington? Who do you
Mm-hmm.
trust here, right? You want us to trust Harborview? The Harborview is the same place that wouldn't tell me where my son is, but they asked to donate his eyes within an hour. I mean,
Jesus.
it was just told, the disrespect, right? And not being funny, but our leaders need to be restored, reframed, right? Rebuilt, right? People, not just saying ours, the leaders today. Have you dealt with your pain, your fear, your anger? Have you dealt with your trauma, your childhood trauma? Instead of trying to hand the heal somebody else, make sure you healthy, right? Make sure that your household is right and your bills and you stable, right? And you ain't getting beaten, you ain't lying, and you ain't selling and dealing, right?
Yeah.
After hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because how you
Mm-hmm.
gonna call a spade when you really a joker? You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Wow.
like,
Well said. Well said.
I mean, honestly, because
Right.
it's been a lot of lies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm honestly thankful that I'd rather for my kids to be, and it's not, and I'm saying this the honestest way. I'd rather for them to be in their room in that depression and then go out and deal with people that call themselves helping to put them in a worse situation to hurt them even more.
Mm.
I mean, I've been dealing with mines by myself. Like when I come in this room, I deal with it, isolate. To be honest, isolation, right? I talk to you, huh?
So I'm gonna ask you, and then Nico, I want you to get into some stuff too. But I wanted to ask you, so how are you coping with the grief daily? How are you navigating this pain?
You know what, Shar, to be honest, as I'm on the fourth year, it's better,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's getting better because now I'm back working. So by me being a medical case manager, me having other people that depend on me helps me look forward to getting up and helping our community. But the other mothers, we depend on
Mm-hmm.
each other. you know,
Awesome.
and with no funding, right? So it's real. We, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes one of us got to pay for us, and sometimes we go down. You know, it just all depends. But we find time at the water. We walk. You know, when I had my organization, when I had funding, you know, I would take them to get massages. Like I took them 9 of them to. We met Joe Biden. We went to Washington D.C. You know, but how did my moms when I took them there? How did they come back? We bonded and built a relationship. But did he shake our hand? Did he value us? Absolutely not. We was just a black face to save their funding. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So honestly, we're tired of that, right? We're tired of people capitalizing on gun violence, but they know nothing about it, right? They know zero about it. They don't know the firsthand. It's more than a war, right? Get deep dive, you know what I'm saying, and ask us what it is that we need. Counseling is so important. We don't need to be going through no eligibility, right? When we done been stripped.
Thank you.
You know, offer those opportunities for at least a year, right? So
at least at a bare minimum.
So we could get back up, right? But when money's involved and people, some of my mothers have not been back to work at all. So you know how many 30 days and challenges? So how many rents I done paid and light bills? And what about tombstones? What about people that still don't even know, all they remember is the spot where their kid is. There's no, you know, tombstone or stuff. Some of them
memorial or something like that.
Nothing, right? Because they already was going through something before this tragedy happened. So this just added more BS on top of what they already going through. You know,
and if you could just give us the name of your organization one more time, because this is so important and it's touching my heart I could just see your transparency and feel your pain. So I know this is still.
It's called We Got Us Moms.
Okay, and how can we
sure to put
locate you guys? And
okay, I can send it. Like I'm not all that good with the computer shit, y'all, but I'm getting there. So I'll send it.
No worries. This is organic, babe. So this is how the rawness it is. So
I appreciate that.
I had to choke back some tears.
Right. No, absolutely. and be having to, you know. And so just like when the first day that, you know, highlighting the mothers. It wasn't about the gift cards and all the gifts that I gave them, but it was I wanted them to know that they ain't alone, right? And they don't have to go through this journey. When y'all probably see people's light on 2, 3, 4 in the morning, they up. Where everybody else sleeping in peaceful.
Ain't sleep.
We can't, And if it's a cold case, we still looking. We being detectives because we want answers, right? Or what about a mother that got a child convicted, but his family is threatening them? You know, why my mom's is in fear. And when we reach out to organizations as opposed to, there's no way that I would reach out to the city of Seattle, the mayor and them's office, and ask them to help. Forget funding. Help this mom be safe, right?
Thank you.
She's still in the same spot. So it's just, when I see city officials, we catching fights and not feelings, and you know, or a city, and I make sure I screenshot it, right? Or I really have a city official say, "Oh, nobody in the city likes you." Well, they don't know me to not like me, but where is that energy?
You said a city official said to you, nobody in the city likes you.
Yeah.
Out their mouth.
Out their mouth. And some of the texts, I got some of the I got you know me, I got it now. I got to keep my little receipts and stuff. I gotta have receipts.
Right.
Wow. How do you say that? Right?
I don't know.
When I reached out, the sad, he reached out to me. I didn't call him. He called me over numerous of times. I gave him up here. I'm only asking for accountability and asking, how did this happen? How did all this turn? I'm the villain. I'm the you know, the what is it, aggressor? No, I'm not the aggressor. All I'm doing is asking questions. So I never heard from them people again.
Wow. This is a topic that is very emotional, and I can't. I can only empathize with your pain. I don't. I'm so sorry that this happened to you.
Thank you.
I wish that things would have turned out differently. Um, and please
Absolutely.
tell me what I could do to support you because I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea in what capacity you need me. But on just moving forward, what are your hopes in terms of preventing this type of thing from happening again, or the support that you need for We Got Us Moms? What do you need from the community? If
Or
it was
what would you
nice,
like to see?
what
Yeah,
would you
what
like
would
to see happen?
ideally, yes, moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will. To be honest, I think I know that they need to refund We Got Us Moms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Because I don't want to keep 211 in and all that when my mom's is in a crisis. Our club is different, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we're in a club that we don't get out of. We're in it for life, right?
Right.
And one thing
Yeah.
about this club, I need people to know you can be a part of it at any given moment. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not
Amen.
keep
Yeah,
overlooking,
you're right.
right? This is,
Yeah.
and the thing what people understand is I don't want new mothers because if new
Mhm.
mothers, that means new kids is dead. So
Yeah.
we're not asking for that, but we do need a space, right? We need a
Mm-hmm.
space where we can have our sanctuary where we feel safe. We don't want to keep going to everybody else's uh what's they call they little um places where they reside at, because at the end of the day it's we still dealing with a conflict. We're still dealing with CD South End. These families, these is unanswered questions, and I'm not going to put them somewhere that's dangerous, right? It
Mm-hmm.
don't matter what we have been through. Even some of these families, I didn't get along with them when I was a kid, but guess what? We're sisters now. We're sisters and brothers now, right? And so my thing is I wanted to have a space where mothers and fathers, right, get to be
Right.
restored, because it's about family. Everybody keep trying to the youth. No, you need to get the whole house healthy. The
Right.
mama got to be healthy. The grandma even got to be damn healthy.
You're
Mm-hmm.
The
so right.
guardians, they have to be healthy. In order for it, healthy. That's the only way it's gonna work. Family got to stop feuding against each other, right? I mean, shit just got to happen. So what I said is what I want from my moms is I want us to have a space where we'll have us our own drop center. Kids don't go, we don't have to put kids out. We're not a shelter, but I want to have a space where just like some of them kids that was up at that child probably didn't have nowhere to go, right?
It's
We want
true.
to make sure that they have somewhere to go, and eligibility would
Mm-hmm.
not stop them from being able to have a warm, safe space to go to.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
A lot of these kids ain't being honest about women. We're a little bit, it takes us a little longer, but we will say if somebody hurt us. Men are not about to talk about somebody done raped them.
Mm-hmm.
Men are not about to be talking about somebody done violated their manhood. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They only know how to act on it, right? They only know how to react on it, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
how do we restore all these generational curses that happen to us?
Wow.
How do we restore? And that's what I want we got us moms to be able to do. We write petitions. I don't want to just see a whole bunch of, and this isn't a black and white thing, but I'm talking about our culture. I'm tired of seeing a whole bunch of white soccer moms. Like I said, they ain't never been personally impacted, but they walking up to the Capitol, they with the president, they with everybody getting all this. We demand action, but then when we ask them for it, is all they can do is, well, we want to stop rifles, because I helped change that law 5078 and 5232. I helped get that bill passed, right?
Now,
And so,
just break it down right quick. What is the basis of that?
So it was the assault rifles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got that bill passed, where they're gonna be prohibited. They're not gonna be able to have that. But
Mm-hmm.
what people need to understand is people with license is not the killers. And so I don't want to be attacking people that is gun owners. That's what I had to say inside of there. So that's probably why they kind of got mad at me. I go off the script. I talk about honest shit. I'm not going after gun the people that make the makes the product, but I want them to be held accountable. Where educate, make sure that everybody has education and knows what they're doing before they get these guns, right? But them ain't the ones that's killing us. It's the ghost guns. It's the guns that
Yeah.
got stolen. You know what I'm saying? But then these people don't know where to start from. But when together, right, and not saying one organization can do it. together, right? And when it comes to gun violence, it needs to be a nationwide, right? There's no area code that's prohibiting us to stop. There's no data. All that has to be out in the open and on the motherfucking table about what it is that we can do as a city, as a state as a whole, right?
As a nation, yes.
As a nation, right? We go from city to city, state to state, doing it. But one thing I'm gonna tell you this, because I'm a little bit nervous too, because I'm just talking. You know how you get fast nervous.
It's okay.
Every city that I've done, like just listening to them do the work, everybody's infected. The whole leadership is infected, and it starts there. It's the leaders.
I grew up in Louisiana, the murder capital of the country. So
that's where
New Orleans and Baton Rouge, the same thing, we're facing. So to bring our communities together, to stop this, to stop mothers from having to go through this pain, to stop our young boys and girls from getting murdered by each other. I mean, we have to get some kind of resolution going.
We need stuff.
So we do.
I'm from Louisiana, right?
Oh, okay. Well, say whoa.
I'm from there. My husband's from there. Right? So he's from Monroe.
Okay, I'm from Monroe. So right between Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
Right, and I'm over there in the parish, right? I'm a little parish right after Lafayette, right? I'm in that little town.
Tangipahoa Parish. Tangipahoa Parish.
So we over there knew it. So the thing is this: when I went down there, just down there was nothing. Right?
That's what I'm saying. So
there was
little nothing.
But liquor stores. You can go find a liquor store.
That's the problem.
Right? There was no community centers. I didn't even see like a lot of YWCAs. I didn't see nothing. So what I wanted to do was rebuild, right? Not just in Seattle. Them was my cousins. Let's build. We paving a way for all of us to be able, right? If down there's a little hard, come on up here, get you a good job and get it. Now up here's too dangerous, going back home where don't nobody know. How do we balance,
bridge the gap.
Right. Bridge the gap. But down there's nothing. When I'm seeing people making $7 and something, we ain't playing with that. That is not no money. That's not no survival.
That blew my mind the last time I was in Louisiana.
And these people are really surviving off of it, right? And
really surviving, really went to college and got degrees to make that. So what they're making something out of nothing. So we really don't have an excuse why we can't come together, because if they're doing it on 7 and we're bitching about making less than $14, $15, $20 an hour,
40.
We're doing them a disservice by, making them feel less than. So bridging this gap is definitely not a monetary thing. Your heart has to be in it. You have to want to see change. Yeah. So from city to city, me living on the West Coast and Vegas now too, again, not many resources for the kids out here either. And then when I go home to Louisiana, like you said, nothing there. So you have nothing but bad energy, bad karma, families been feuding, all this inner turmoil within our community. So like you said before, the mental has to stop with the grandma, with the mom, with the aunties, with the uncles. We all need to get some kind of counseling, a come to Jesus moment and build back, and get back to loving one another. Talk about the beefs we have and all the other issues going on and really get to the bottom of it so we can get some solutions going. I'm all about solution based. Once you hear the issue, yes. Now, what can we do to fix it? Let's get to it. Let's get to it. So that's why I'm appreciating your transparency tonight so much, because you pointed out so many things where we can work on and start. You gave us a lot of good key points. City officials don't want to see it happen. National officials don't want to see it happen. We got to make it happen. Yeah. So just, giving this squeaky wheel the oil that it needs to get going and get turning, that's where I'm at with it. And I appreciate you so much for joining us tonight on Soulful Conversation, sweetheart. It was just beautiful. So we're going to get this work done, boo. And for the boot, for Wody and them, for us, all of us.
How do we get in there, right? How do we get in office and not being funny? And this isn't on a political.
No.
we have been, what's that called? Hypnotized, right? And I love my Black people, but we are now a part of a war that we don't even know nothing about. We're not politicians. We're at the very, very bottom of this totem pole, but oh, Obama said that shouldn't, if anybody blow for Trump, that they crazy. We shouldn't. If they want to vote for Trump, let them. Don't tell us to vote for Harris and she hasn't done nothing for us either. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, why are we in the middle of their chaos? This is their BS. This ain't ours. You know what I'm saying?
It has nothing to do with us.
And now we the puppets, and we going against each other, right? I had a person to tell me, I told her, well, both parties need help, and then both parties have some strength behind them. But I'm number one, I don't want another 4 years of what we've been going through. I just can't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be funny about Harris or none of that. Harris, you was supposed to, you saying that you're gonna change, do something for us now, when Biden, you got to clean up Biden shit. Here we go again, cleaning up somebody else's mess. So like I said, and the only thing people don't like about it is, but if they would have listened to Trump, my son would be here. And so I may not like everything that he does or nothing like that, but I have to stand on supporting. He said shut it down, and they did not.
Shut down, and they did not.
He said shut the shop down, and instead of them just shutting it down, it's a summer of love. Well, it wasn't. It was someone's life was taken from there, and my family has been turned upside down, and they went on with their perfect life. They all on vacation, they going to Japan, they going to all these places, and guess what I got to do? I got to sit up in this room with memories and find a way to not feel dark, or find a way for me not to say blood for blood, because I was once them kids too. I'm no different. I'm just making different choices and decisions now. But old me, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't matter who it was. They was going to feel what I went through. But then I said, Donnita, you can never kill an enemy. It just continues. It don't stop. If I do something to them, they're gonna come back, do something to me. I do something to them.
And that's where the generational curses come from, because he begot, you got to get her, she got to get your daughter, now I got to get my son, and it just keeps going, the spiral. So what I think, we should just come up with an agenda within us, within our community. We start with the moms. We start with your foundation and foundations like that, to where we don't need these outside sources that's going to lie to us, or just come around when it's photo op time or time to be reelected and things like that, when we could really get some things handled on our side. Come up with a real plan and real process of how we want it to look, what we want, who we want in it, who we want, the people with the passion and the compassion and empathy, the whole breakdown,
the cabinet,
to join forces.
Cabinet.
Absolutely.
Because where there's like minds and where there's like minds and that same energy, we can make a difference. We will make a difference. You don't want to drag somebody along. You want somebody to show up and say, I want to do the work. I don't want to have to drag somebody to say, come on, please support me. Please, please kiss my ass. Please, feel my cause. No, I want you to say, what, girl, I feel you. I fucks with you. Let's get this shit done. You know what I'm saying? Let's make this shit happen. Fuck what they say. If it's 2 or 3 of us, that's more than what's needed.
Right. But how? Right? How do we allow or get our voices out? Because, not being funny, media is paid now, right? Media is paid. So whoever's paying the bills is what media is going to put out, right?
Well, you got to think who's money hungry, who's chasing that dollar and really not wanting substance, because money's going to come. But, the devil rewards his people too, just like God does.
Oh, yeah.
So whose side are you really going to be on? Are you on justice side? Or are you going to be on this, gimme, take side? So you have to really check your moral compass when you're dealing with people in passion and hurt and pain, and can't show up for just the photo ops and the checks. You got to really be in the trenches with this shit. So that's why you coming on platforms like this. Ain't no money here. You know what I'm saying? This is from the heart. We're trying to get to the bottom of shit, just trying to get some things going, get people involved, and get voices heard and heal.
Right.
And heal. That's the main thing. We got to heal. So that's why it's soulful conversation, because it's from the soul. You speaking with passion. I'm speaking with conviction. I'm feeling your pain. We're mothers here. We're Black women here. We already got so much on our shoulders. So to come on this platform and share and be transparent, I love it. That's what we're starting at. We're going to get more of it. And it's just, this is our ground zero. So we got to put the work in. And link up and not just do it here and there, but just stay consistent. I'm checking on you. Hey, Donnita, how you doing, girl? What we doing today? What can we get going today?
Donnita's in my morning text thread.
Yeah.
With my message.
Amen. In the prayers. In the prayers. Prayers.
No, that's important.
I be needing it. I be waking up disgruntled.
Of course. I be mad. Like, why Char ain't sent me the prayer? What the hell taking so long?
I woke up madder than what Bernice would say, a shithouse rat or some shit she used to say. And I said, you know what? I ain't sending out these messages no more. Nobody don't send me no messages. I sent them out anyway.
But that's the thing. Who takes care of you, right, Char? That's why I send a love back. How are you okay, right? It's all it's hand for hand.
It's
right?
give and take. Yes.
Because we don't want to drown you out where you feeling like you ain't being replicated. That was come on now. But everybody wants to be the star around here, right? And I don't want to never see a leader say he don't want zero youth detention. Well, our kids are not themselves right now. I don't want to say that they're killers, but they're becoming serial killers. So what are we gonna do, right? Yeah. To either how do we hold them accountable then, right? Until they become themselves again, they gonna have to go somewhere, because we can't keep having everybody coming up dead or hurt behind
these kids.
You know what I'm saying?
Being influenced by drugs and alcohol. They all want to take
it's a mental health issue now.
Mental health issues. I mean, where do you start?
I know, but people, and then let me just say this about when people say mental health, and that's true, right? But a lot of things can be restored at that home, right?
Of course.
And some of it isn't, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's all mental health, but some of it isn't to the degree where they need medication. It's all about that outlet, letting that stuff go, right? Letting go of whatever that pain is. You know what I'm saying? And so, but when I'm seeing my dad didn't claim me, but he over here, you know what I'm saying? That's
the mental health I'm talking about. That's the emotional abuse. That's emotional abuse. That's where, I can't get over this. Just like you said, you got a whole family over here that you love and take care of. And then you got kids over here that you don't even acknowledge. That's painful to grow up in that.
Yeah.
That's the mental health aspect, the toxic environment that a lot of us grew up in. When you said grandma needs to heal. Well, grandma was molested and raped too.
Yeah.
She don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many levels and layers to us in this healing and this mental health bubble that we got to conquer before we can go on. And that's what I'm saying. The healing has to be the forefront.
Right. The emotional
if we can heal. Yes. And talk about that and not big me, little you. My pain is bigger than your pain. And girl, you should have got over that. No.
No, ain't no
acknowledge everybody's
limitation
pain.
on grief. There's no timeline in it.
And everybody's pain needs to be acknowledged. And if we could start there as a conglomerate, cohesive unit, just understanding that we're all hurting to some degree, we can get answers done. We can get some shit done. We can get facilities built and, you know what I'm saying? Nerves, huh? We can get facilities built.
It is my nerves. My nerves are shot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I ask myself, if this didn't happen, what would I be doing? Right? But then I had to say, would I be as strong? Would I have as much confidence? Right? Would I be able to walk in them room like the Lord really sent me? Before, I wouldn't. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you're saying fight and all that, but we talking about knowing how to use my words without having to cuss people out, right? I'm talking about using my words without having to use my fists, right? But now, it just seems like I'm okay with not being okay now. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not being okay. But back then I wasn't. So it took, like I said, those 100 no's and that rejection and that no support for me to get here. But everybody's not on the same level, right? That
Yeah.
healthy support is so important. Like you have a husband. I have a husband, so I got somebody that I can call on. But what about that my marriage took a toll with that? What about I didn't want to be bothered with nothing? What about I was scared to love again? What about, you know what I'm saying? Just all the things that what that put me, what that took
Right.
me through.
All the
I was
things that we
divided.
don't talk about. Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
All the things that we don't talk about, that we're putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, and
yeah,
it's leaking. We can
yeah.
see the blood. It's leaking. It's falling on everybody. We're all being affected by it. So,
Yeah.
and just to wrap this up, just with healing, with prayer, with sending these prayers and just talking to one another and just staying cohesively together, doing more interviews, following up with each other. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
holding each other accountable for the shit that we say instead of just
Well,
flapping our gums and not doing nothing about it.
would you like to lead us
That's
in
where we
prayer,
start.
Alicia?
Oh my gosh. I just Father God, just bless us. Bless us mothers, bless us as a community, bless us as a whole, God, and just hear our cry. Just heal us in all the emotional capacities that we're in, Lord God, and just rain on us blessings, mercy, peace, and just genuine love for one another. Heal this land, Lord God, black, white, and indifferent. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
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 Amen. So
Thank you
Well,
thank
I
so
you
would
for
much
love
for
to
joining
see
coming,
us,
you guys
sweetheart.
sweetheart.
again.
We will.
I,
Absolutely.
yeah, I have a
Absolutely.
couple
Because,
of. So let
yeah.
me just tell you guys. I don't know how many you guys want, but I have so many mothers. Right, I got about 46.
Mm.
That's just they need an outlet. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes
Absolutely.
I learned that sometimes, in this city here, I don't want to stop them from getting the support they need because it's me. Because that's how I go here. Like the lady said, she wasn't lying when she said the city people don't like me. So it's been trickling down on what my mother's been the support they've been getting. But I still try to find, if I hear about it, I'm gonna just share it. It don't matter. I don't got to be able to go or not. I'm gonna still share it. But
Right.
I would love for my mothers to be able to have an opportunity to just be able to have a voice with
And
not just
tell their
other
story.
and
Yes.
tell
Yeah.
their story. Absolutely, because you don't even know how much that it's not going to cure it, but it will just let up a little bit of that pain, that of that layer, give it this, just giving them
Absolutely.
some type of outlet. I don't know, because like I said, I don't even
Definitely.
know which way we going, other than trying to stand in one of these politicians' face and trying to demand that they need to be helping us too,
You don't
and
have to
before
even do that, baby, because God sits high and looks low, baby. So he already took care of it.
I
This
know, I
platform
appreciate
alone,
you.
baby, this platform alone, sweetheart, is gonna heal us all.
Right.
So we'll have a round table with the mothers. We can all get together and kumbaya this
Yeah.
stuff out. We can cry it out, fight it out, line up whoever we need to line up, get it gangster, however they want
Gang
it.
member, we don't want to beat anybody.
No, no, no. I understand that, but I'm just saying,
We're
God
gonna
has
get
his
to that.
soldiers too, and they be ready for it. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm
have you
just
guys ever thought about this? So you remember how they did a Million Man March? I
Yeah,
want to
we
see if
remember.
I can get us 1,000,000 women. You
You
know what I'm saying?
can.
And even if it ain't nothing but 1,000,
It'll
that
be more than 1,000. I mean, this is crazy. My nephew was murdered in 2016. You know what I'm saying? And then my daughter's dad, he died in 1990. Wait, in 2001 October, he died, and some silliness up on at the gas station, and people that we know, was there, but they didn't see nothing. And my nephew's death was on TikTok. People was there, but don't nobody know who did it. So it's just crazy. It's
okay.
craziness.
Well,
just healing.
and that's the
Yes.
part that
You
we got
do
to
you
get.
have a Patreon set up so we can
Yeah, where you
definitely
can
get
take
funding
donations and
and
stuff.
donations
Well,
and
I've
stuff?
been working on it, so I do got the we. I don't. Let me see how I can send it. Let me see. Let me just before I get y'all off here, so I can make sure. We got us moms.
You gotta direct. Does your foundation have a direct website? So when we put in our links, we can put in
Hold on, let
the
me see how
foundation.
he sent it to me. Yeah, because Van was helping me get a website. That's what I'm saying. Nobody helping us to do nothing, and me trying to just do it all by myself.
It's
It was
hard.
And that's
yeah.
frustrating. So
It
do
is
you
very.
yes.
Yeah.
The our wonderful Mr. Putney that helps us with everything. Definitely reach out to him as well. We could send you his information
Oh
because
yeah, I can
he's
send you
making
his
a difference in
information.
our life. Yes, he's definitely making
Yes.
a difference with us getting our voices heard and things that are passionate to us with these soulful conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's so important. So
Okay, well, let me just try to
definitely,
send this to see how I try to make sure. But that's the Juneteenth. Oh, and you
and we
guys check me out
definitely
on
have to
TikTok.
follow up. Yes,
You're on
and we
Check me out
TikTok?
definitely
on
have to do
TikTok.
a follow up. What's the
But on
TikTok
TikTok, I'm
handle?
the realest mom ever. So remember,
I know that's right.
and
One
no,
of.
Yeah, this was a
And
good
then,
discussion, and it do require a follow up. We need
oh
to
yeah,
know.
we have many more follow ups with the 46 moms and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a different story, and I want everyone's voice heard because the more you talk, the more you can heal.
You
right.
People think
said
just keeping it
what's
to
your TikTok
yourself.
channel?
My TikTok is the realest mom ever.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then just email us, Donnita, at info@soulful-conversation.com so we can definitely keep in touch and post different things about what you got going on, your foundation, and just more events that we can all be involved in different cities. Again, you guys are in Washington, we got folks in Louisiana, I'm in Las Vegas, so we definitely
Mm-hmm.
need to stay linked up and use all our resources to get things done. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I want it.
Yes.
I
Yes.
okay, so then
That's the
before
realm I'm
it gets
in as a community worker. So
so
I'm
the
very
next
passionate about that.
conversation before it gets drowned out, I need you guys to be bringing up what happened with all that fentanyl here about our community leaders.
Hmm.
Oh Lord, here we go. Let's get into
Well,
it.
let's get into it.
You're
Set
right.
the topic. Real. And
Well, we do
that's a
because
national thing. Yeah, it's
yeah,
nationwide.
because that's important and
Mhm.
we don't want to play with that. So, and it's
No.
not that we trying to, belittle them, but we don't want leaders like that. You know what I'm saying? If you're not ready to make that change and that commitment, then you need to leave us these kids and this healing and all this alone. You know what I'm saying? Drug
Mhm.
dealing and healing don't go in the same sense. You either gonna have to
Not at
share or
all.
get off the pot.
Not at
Period.
all. That's like the light trying to mix with the dark. It does not go together. It's not cohesive. It's not gonna work. It just won't work. It
All
just
right.
won't work.
Well, there you have it, folks. We have Miss
Yes.
Donnita Sinclair-Martin of We Got Us Moms. She came to talk a soulful conversation today about her
Mm,
son's legacy, Horace Lorenzo
yes.
Anderson. We really do appreciate you being here. I love you
Bless you
so
for
much.
your
Yes.
transparency.
Thank you.
Yes, you give me chills, Mama. So much love to you.
Thank
And
you. I hope to see you guys soon.
You
we
will. We're gonna put it
will. We
together.
will.
I'm gonna text you, so we're
Absolutely.
gonna put it together.
Okay, and I'll send you all the stuff, Shark, because I'm not that savvy because I was trying to look to send it here so you guys can go look. But I want you to be able to send it to Miko, right?
Yeah.
Miko
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
and whoever else. So we can because
Yes.
one like I said, that platform has an outlet, but this other man has been getting I guess you get paid to be on TikTok, but
You do.
and I didn't know. And
Yeah.
so by the time I got on there, he was like, "But how do I know you're the real mom?" I'm like, "Oh Lord."
Wow.
I'm
I just
definitely
left it
her. You
alone.
need to tell them,
Wow.
calm down.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you. And prayers to you, baby. Keep your head up, mamas. Love you.
Thank
all
you.
right. Love
Okay,
you,
love
babe.
you guys. Bye
Bless.
bye.
All
Talk to you later.
right.
All
Bye.
right. Bye bye.
Be sure to stay connected with us during the week through our weekly podcast on Spotify, our YouTube channel, Patreon, and social media.